So I keep getting asked in videos, how viable is purple green this format? Is purple green still a deck that can compete? And it has enough tops and everything to solidify itself as a tier 2 deck. And I think the way the format is shaping up, it actually has a very good spot moving forward. And what I mean by that is I think this format is developing into a pretty slow format. A lot of people are ditching early plays because of getting into top deck battles, wanting better top decks, and just the overall pace of the format is a bit slower. This, however, is a quicker deck, and it's a bit quicker because we're playing things like that Cursed Merfolk on your turn 1, and you also don't need Pascal anymore, so we can go for Pegasus, who is just always evasive in that other 1-drop slot. The deck comes in with 15 uninkable cards and about a $300 price range. We're also playing 3 Madam Snakes, which can help you with obviously bouncing things like your Rabbit, but it also helps bounce like your Merfolk if you want, so then you can get the body on board with a 3 attack, and then on turn 3 you come back with like Merfolk Flynn or something along those lines. We also do run the 1 Pinocchio Talkative Puppet, the uninkable 2-drop. When you play it, you can exert an opponent's character. We do this obviously to exert our opponent's character, so you can challenge it and take them out. It works well with Ursula, Deceiver of All, Ariel, and even if you have like your Pegasus in play already, to exert their Diablo and then use your Pegasus to take out the Diablo. So there's a lot of plays that we can do with this Pinocchio. One has been plenty because you don't really want to see it, but sometimes you want to see it. And we have bouncers, so it's not too hard to get that card back to your hand. As if Merfolk isn't enough, again, you can go Merfolk and then Flynn, especially if they don't have an answer on turn 1. If you drop Merfolk, they don't have a 1-drop, especially into like the red-blue matchup where their 1-drops are items. And then you come back with the Flynn Rider, you apply so much pressure on your opponent to be able to do anything. This deck has a fantastic red-blue matchup. Versus Bucky discard, it can get a little bit hairy, but at the end of the day, we're not going to be able to beat every single deck all the time. However, I do think that, especially on the play, I do think you have a decent chance into the Bucky matchup. Ruby Amethyst is another one, kind of like red-blue, but not quite as favorable. They have more early presence. However, I do think this deck fares really well into that matchup too. Steel Song and Sapphire Steel can be a little bit more of a pain because of the Steel engine. However, being able to play your Ursula, bounce your Ursula, replay your Ursula can help you a lot in these Steel matchups. Another thing you might want to consider on the draw versus Steel Song, if they open up with that air or with the Cinderella, don't play your Curse Merfolk right away. Skip your 1-drop, get a threat on board so you can deal with them, and then come back with that aggro card a little bit later once you stabilize the board state. We're playing 4 Ursulas because we want to hit those Steel Songs that can, well, hurt you a lot. Grab your swords, Strength of the Raging Fire, and let the storm rage on. Obviously, versus like Ruby Amethyst, you can hit Friends on the other side, which is another fantastic card to hit. Madam Mim Fox is just, well, we say it in every Amethyst video. Mim Fox is crazy. We're playing 4 Mim Foxes because, well, you kind of need to. Unlike the discard version of this, which I am finalizing that deck again, so we'll have an updated green-purple discard deck for you guys. This one does, however, play Merlin Crab. I like him at 2 of, being able to boost and bounce him with like your Fox. It's just a really good play line. Play him on 3, boost your Snake. Then on 4, you Fox bounce him, boost your Fox. Being able to swing into something like a castle and take it out with just your Fox because you boost it with Crab is a very nice feeling. Peter Pan is a fantastic answer to Diablo, and we are also playing Diablo. We're on Emerald. You should have known that this was coming. Out of the $300 of this deck, $200 of that is Diablo himself. 3-kit Cloud Kicker as well because, well, guess what? He can bounce those Diablos to slow down your opponent's pace. Keep in mind, if they have Bucky on board, they're going to replay it, and you're going to have to discard again, so that is something to keep mind of. However, Kit Cloud Kicker, just resetting your opponent's tempo, is a very strong card. Merlin, Goat, and Rabbit don't really need explanations. They are 4-ofs. It's 2 lore, 2 draws. They're guaranteed whether they get put to your inkwell, to your hand, to your deck, to the discard. No matter what happens to them, they get you that value. Cricky's kind of like a late game crab, but for your whole board, and he quests for 3. When you play it, everything else gets +3. We're playing 2 Crickies and absolutely loving it. The 3 questing in the late game also is just very, very strong. We're playing 4 Pegasuses. I love shifting Pegasus, giving my whole board evasive, and you get a free turn of questing with everything. Then we have the Ursula the Sea Witch Queen. So not only does this help into your Steel Songs and your Sapphire Steel matchups, because when she hits the board, no other characters can sing songs. So you force your opponents to hardcast songs, and her 7 willpower means she sticks around for a little bit. In addition, obviously, we can shift her onto our 2-drop Ursula, so you don't have to pay the 7 for her. The best part about this card, though, when she quests, quest with her first 9 times out of 10, because when she quests, you can exert an opponent's character and then take it out with one of your other characters. And kind of like Cricky, she's questing for 3, so she's a fantastic top deck late in the game. We're playing 4 Friends on the other side because drawing 2 is just too good not to. 2 Bruno because it helps late game to just slow your opponent's tempo down, especially if they have no hand. It essentially acts as removal. Lastly, we have 3 Queen's Castle because this card is just insane. It offers draw, it offers passive lore, and it has the 7 willpower, which can be difficult for some decks to deal with. Overall, we have 8 1-drops, we have 12 2-drops, then we go all the way up to 19 in the 3s, then we taper down pretty quickly with our 4s, 5s, and then those 2 Ursulas on 7. So again, when we're playing this deck, and if you're on the play, a lot of the time, you might want to go that aggro route. Again, I don't know how many times I'm going to say again, but pretty much the only time you don't necessarily want to go aggro would be Steel Song. But if you're on the play and you have like Ursula and stuff like that in hand, I would be a little more okay going aggro. On the draw, I'd rather back off a bit and mulligan harder for things like Ursula, Fox, Snake, these like mid-game cards, because if you just go full aggro versus Steel Song, you might get out 12, 14 lore on them early, but then they're just going to completely take over the game and you're going to struggle to claw your way back in once they get their board set up and they get those whole new worlds rolling and they just keep getting to those songs to just board wipe you. You're going to be in a troubled state. Sapphire Steel kind of like Steel Song, but they use ramping as opposed to shifting to get to those power cards, which is a little bit easier to deal with. I do like Ursula in that matchup quite a bit as well, because you can drop Ursula and hit something like, if you're on the play, you can hit their 1 jump. If you're on the play or on the draw, you can hit something like How Far I'll Go, and just hitting these cards helps slow down their ramping a little bit and makes them lose that card in hand, obviously. Like I said, Ruby Amethyst can be a little harder than Ruby Sapphire because they do have more early threats. However, it's a deck that I don't think this deck necessarily struggles with. I'll say it's a 55-45 in your favor. Ruby Sapphire, though, if your locals is filled with Ruby Sapphire, I would play purple or Amethyst Emerald, purple green all day. All day I'd play this deck if Ruby Sapphire was dominating my locals. Unfortunately for me, there's more Steel Song than Ruby Sapphire, so I don't foresee me playing tempo. However, I do think Amethyst Emerald discard has a little bit different matchups, but we'll get to that in that video. And we have some other good stuff for you guys coming as well. Updated Mufasa deck, updated discard special Lemon Lime deck, and of course all of our giveaways. Information down below, giving away that Enchanted Rare Tinkerbell, giving away the case of set 5. All good information as far as tops, the spreadsheet, all that, how you can support the channel down below. So thank you guys for watching. Until next time, take care. Which other decks do you want to see? Like I said, we have Mufasa already done. I just need to record it. And we also have that Lemon Lime discard deck also finalized and to a point I'm pretty happy with, and working on a few other projects. But if we get enough people asking for certain ones, I have no problem trying to do that in my spare time and possibly bumping it up the list. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for the support. And until next time, take care.